Americans of Reddit, what is something the rest of the world needs to hear? We drive cars because public transportation is non-existent for most people. I live 10 minutes out in the country from my nearest town and 30 to 45 minutes from the nearest city. I have to have a car or else I'm not getting anywhere. Stop telling us where various cities are located as if we're too stupid to figure it out. We know where Paris is. It's in Texas. It's not that we don't want to visit other countries, it's that for the majority of Americans, Canada and Mexico are a day or two drive away, and paying over $1,000 to get a round-trip ticket overseas isn't something a lot of people can justify buying. We hate our politicians as much as non-Americans do. We do indeed have a few good ones trying to do the right thing, but they are heavily outnumbered by both people/votes and money. I don't want to be car dependent. I have to be. If I could bike everywhere in a reasonable amount of time, I probably would. But biking to my work takes an hour because our cities sprawl so much and our bike paths are not good and car traffic usually is higher on priority lists than bikes, so our bike lanes are usually non-existent or minimal. And I live in one of the best cities/areas to bike in, according to some lists online. Please stop asking us to be militarily involved in world events and not militarily involved in world events at the same time. A lot of people here are actually pretty nice, financially struggling and just trying to get by, and strongly object to the government's cruelty. There are some brainwashed extremists, of course, like I'm sure every country has. But overall, yeah, we're just humans who would love world peace just like anyone else with the ability to rationalize with compassion. Yelling 9/11 at us on COD doesn't do anything. We don't care. Edit. This is the most upvoted comment I've ever had by a long shot. Thank you guys so much. I will smoke a blunt in honor of everyone. We're just people getting by. We know our country has problems, I'm sure yours does as well. Generalizing an entire nation based on stereotypes is stupid. When threatened, Americans will deploy a colorful neck shroud in a show of dominance and can spit venom up to 15 feet. A lot of you guys give the US shit for being racist, but when push comes to shove, a lot of you guys have to look at a mirror. Not saying we're perfect, but holy shit. I went to Italy and there was a restaurant selling American pizza, which was pizza with French fries, hot dogs and more ranch than pizza. He said it's authentic American pizza and it's how everyone eats pizza over there. I told him I'm from America and I've never once seen anyone eat that. He told me I was wrong and it's how all Americans eat pizza. Y'all are crazy too. Still, water and public bathrooms should be free around the world. The US doesn't do a lot of things right, but we generally have free water fountains and public bathrooms in most places. We only have a few hundred years of recorded history, so yeah, we talk about our civil war, etc., because we haven't had 10 civil wars and thousands of battles and centuries of political suppression. Also, since we are so new, we do talk about our European/Asian/African heritage. American cuisine is incredible and diverse. I don't mean McDonald's or bacon-wrapped fryer food. You have some of the best seafood in the Northeast and Pacific Coast. Cajun and Southern cooking in the Southeast, Tex-Mex of the Southwest, barbecue everywhere, and everyone has their meat and potato favorites. I'm not an American, but I've visited twice and goddamn. Nicest people I've ever met. Also, the girls you send over here, EU, are the sluttiest, so thank you for that. No, in the South, we do not all have alligators in our backyards. If someone tells you otherwise, they're lying. There are no alligators in Basing SE. Canadian here. Just want to say I think the USA is a wonderful place and that most of you are fantastic, kind, wonderful people. This country is big. People in this country get culture shock from moving within the same state and through different regions. This is personally why I find most generalizations of Americans funny. Also, stop asking people who say they're from NYC how many times they go to California. And vice versa. It's far and expensive, lol. Every time I'm in Europe someone asks me this question. We're not all like what you probably see on the news. America is a very big country where you can see it all. Beaches, mountains, rural areas, big cities, you name it. There's a lot of different people and it's embarrassing to be defined by the worst of us. But also our healthcare system is exactly as stupid and terrible as you think, and if you visit here don't get sick or hurt. You guys are probably more racist than us. We just have very little tolerance of it, so we make a big deal about it. The United States are big. Driving across Texas is like driving from Paris to Berlin. Our statewide differences and mindsets are as diverse as any neighboring countries. Stereotyping a typical American is tantamount to stereotyping a typical European and assuming there is no difference between a Frenchman and a Pole. Edit: I know most, but not all, of you are joking, but to be clear, Pole equals Polish person. That a lot of us, most of us, in a lot of cases, do not support everything our government has ever done. I did not get a vote on the Iraq War. Please stop acting as if every single one of us is to blame for it. You might not like America being the de facto world leader, but you really don't want a world run by nations like China or Russia. Our state governments hold more power over our daily lives than the federal government. The laws can vary pretty significantly across state lines aside from commonalities like no murder, robbery, reckless driving, etc., and even those sometimes can be punished very differently from state to state. It's almost like 50 similar-minded neighboring nations, and a couple territories, under one union. Dictatorship Azerbaijan is waging a war against democratic Armenia. And the whole world is silent because Azerbaijan supplies Europe with gas and bribed half of the EU if not the whole. Deep down in places you don't talk about at parties, you want me on that wall. You need me on that wall. In the South, whenever we pass another car on the road we do a little wave. Also, when we see a cop we flash our headlights to the next few cars so they know there is in fact a cop up ahead. I only want to say something to Europeans because I recently went there on vacation with my biracial family. Y'all like to say that Americans are backward and racist, and that's true, but really I've seen just as much racism or more traveling with my family in Europe. So you take care of your racist problem and we'll take care of ours. We aren't a hive mind. Massachusetts is very different than Montana or Nebraska. It's not entirely unlike the differences between countries in the EU. People have different backgrounds, speak different languages, and often live under very different laws from one region to the next. The notion of Americans are X on Reddit gets exhausting. Americanized versions of food are still good and we still enjoy them. You don't have to tell us this isn't authentic country food. We know it isn't. Just because it's not exactly like the origin country's version doesn't make it bad. You only see out fat and lazy managers and VPs. And we are sorry. The rest of us are too poor to visit.